Shia Rights Watch publishes new monthly report. In its latest monthly report, Shia Rights Watch Organization addresses concerns over the human and religious rights violations of the Shia civilians across the world. This report includes extremist and terrorist attacks and the violation of Shia's right by state actors and suppressive regimes. The full script of this report, along with valid proofs, will be made available to the public opinion, the media, and the human rights foundations.
Shia Rights Watch releases its monthly report for the month of October 2016. Just like the previous month, the Shia Muslims around the world were once again the target of terrorist attacks and assaults. During the course of Islamic month of Muharram, these terrorist attacks saw a sharp rise, especially when the public gatherings or commemoration ceremonies for Imam Hussein's martyrdom were held in the street. Aside from terrorist assaults, many governments around the world terrify, terrorize, suppress, and oppress the Shia Muslims in their countries. Shia Rights Watch is an organization that tracks and monitors these aggressive behaviors and attacks against Shia Muslims, both by individuals or government agencies. These assaults, violations, and harassments are all monitored and tracked. It is worth mentioning that the extent of these crimes against the Shia Muslims in the world is way larger than what is mentioned in this monthly report, which is released by the Shia Rights Watch. It only reveals a small glimpse of the crimes that is being conducted against the Shia Muslims in the world. It should be made clear that not all the Shia Muslims in the world are accessible to the Shia Rights Watch organization. An example of this case are the prisoners and the detainees. This is the monthly report issued by Shia Rights Watch for October 2016. It records accessible data and information where the Shia were the target of crimes, attacks, just due to their religious beliefs. The report for this month is as follows. Afghanistan. At least 14 people have been killed in Afghanistan, and many others have been wounded when the terrorists blindly opened up fire against a Shia religious gathering. The Shias in this gathering were commemorating the martyrdom of Imam Hussein, peace be upon him. This terrorist attack occurred in the western part of the country's capital near Kabul's university, where the majority of the Shia Muslims live. According to a spokesman of Afghanistan's Interior Ministry, in this terrorist attack, 14 people have been killed and 36 have been wounded. Pakistan. An overnight assault on a police training college in Quetta City has led to the killing of 59 people and the injury of 120 others, mostly police academy students. Bahrain. Bahrain security forces have attacked different towns and villages in this country. Religious banners were removed from these cities and towns. It is worth mentioning that the Shia Muslims in Bahrain consist the majority of the country's population, but the religious majority are under suppressive rule of the country's religious minority. Yemen. More than one-third of all Saudi-led airstrikes on Yemen have hit civilian areas such as schools and hospitals, buildings, markets, mosques, and economic infrastructure. Malaysia. The religious cops in Malaysia have captured 50 Shia Muslims in this country for commemorating the death of Imam Hussein, peace be upon him. The news of the capturing of Imam Hussein's commemorators and mourners was stated in one of the Malaysian local newspapers. It should be stated that the Muslim Malaysian government does not recognize Shias as Muslims or as a distinguishable faith group. In another oppressing act by the Malaysian religious cops, a number of the young Malaysian youth were arrested for holding a banner that contained the religious word O Hussein. Egypt. Egyptian security forces have locked down Imam Hussein's mosque in the country's capital. Many Shias could not attend this mosque to hold prayers. Egyptian security forces were dispersed around the main gate of this mosque. An Egyptian security source said the forces in charge of the area have shut down the mosque for the purpose of preventing Shia Muslims from holding commemoration ceremonies and rituals for Imam Hussein's martyrdom. Nigeria. The Nigerian army has attacked the Imam Hussein's mourners in this country. This aggressive attack has led to the killing of 20 Shia Muslims. According to sources, the Nigerian army attacked the commemorators of Ashura Day in Kaduna province. The Nigerian army opened fire on the commemorators, which resulted in the killing of 20 people. It also must be mentioned that many Shia Muslims from around the country had headed to this province to participate in these rituals, but they have been captivated and imprisoned. Among them were some children and women. Syria. In the past months, the two Syrian towns of Al-Fu'a and Kafaria and the Zainabiyya district in Damascus were bombarded with missiles, leading to the death and injury of a number of civilians, including children, women, and elders. Despite the numerous peace summits held by the UN and the countries involved in the Syrian war, this country still suffers from constant breaches of the peace agreements by the terrorist groups. Iraq. Iraq is still tops the list of countries with most casualties of Shia Muslims. The official reports indicate that in this month, about 377 Shia citizens were killed as a result of bombings, fire shots, and Daesh executions. Since Iraq was invaded by the Daesh terrorist group, this country has been suffering greatly. It has been experiencing genocides, mass murders, high rates of executions, car bombs, booby traps, gun killing, and rocket attacks.